Hi everyone, good morning. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue here for Cricut Chat, Monday morning Cricut Chat. Couple more weeks till Christmas, and we are going to talk about a puppy. Okay, the teddy bear is upset with Benji because Benji wouldn't let him say hello to you at the beginning. I don't know. They're fighting. Don't fight now. Be nice. Good brothers. Anyway, so this morning we are going to be talking all about Infusible Ink. Good morning. We're going to talk about what Infusible Ink is and how the process works, what Infusible Ink is not, and mostly just covering the basics of Infusible Ink. We are going to get a little more advanced with it in future episodes, and I'm going to show you something other than a t-shirt, because a lot of people don't really realize that Infusible Ink can be used on more than just t-shirts. But this morning I thought that I would show you the basics in case you've never tried it and you don't understand what it is and all of that. So, oh, hello, David. Nice to see you. So I just wanted to talk about that. But before I do, I want to say hello to all my friends that are watching. Good morning, Regina and David, Shirley, Bren, how are you? Penny and Susan, Sherry. Let's see, we've got Maria, nice to see you, and Vicky, Christina, Kathy, and Nancy, how are you? And Dorothy, Pamela, and a whole bunch more. And thank you for joining me this morning for Cricut Chat. I hope that you were able to catch the date night from Saturday night. We made these beautiful signs. I'm just going to show you in case you didn't catch it, but here is a Believe sign that we made, and did a bunch of other sort of long cut signs. And we have another great week for you this week, full of all kinds of holiday decor and fun stuff that I think you're going to really like. So this morning is Monday, so that means it's Mystery Material Monday. So good morning. Good morning, Karen. Hi, Manila. So it's Mystery Material Monday, and so if you're new to us, you might not know what Mystery Material Monday is. Well, it's a day that we reserve on Cricut Chat to talk about a product that you may have received, or you accidentally purchased, or you got in a mystery box or something, and you're not really sure what to do with it. It's a mystery to you. That's what Mystery Material Monday is. And so today, this is the topic is Infusible Ink, but we've done a number of other excuse me, mystery materials. Cricut has a lot of really interesting different things. You know, a lot of people, they're used to working paper or vinyl or even just plain iron-on, but there's so many different materials, and the machines can cut so many materials that it seems a shame not to understand what they all are. So this is Infusible Ink. So Infusible Ink is a sort of iron-on. So if you've ever done iron-on, or you understand iron-on, you can do Infusible Ink. It's a sort of iron-on. The thing about Infusible Ink, though, is that it's a very permanent iron-on. It infuses, that's why it's called Infusible Ink. It's ink that has been impregnated, I guess is the word, onto a sheet. This is a transfer sheet. This is what it looks like if you get it in the 12 by 12 inch box. And this side, the matte side, this one here looks brown, is actually ink that's on a transfer sheet. Now this ends up being black, and that's because we have to put a lot of heat onto it. And what happens is the heat turns this ink into a gas, and then the gas goes into the substrate or your blank or whatever you want to call it. Now, Infusible ink comes in a lot of colors, a lot of patterns. It comes in, this is called a transfer sheet. It also comes in this, which are markers. We're not going to talk about the markers today, but we can talk about them in the future because they're a lot of fun too. They're slightly different, but they're a lot of fun. But just so you know, they're kind of the same, grouping of product infusible ink markers. They have some slightly different ways of doing it. Now, infusible ink comes in usually in these boxes. Sometimes you'll get 2, sometimes you'll get 4 of the transfer sheets. So do definitely look for what you're going to get. And a lot of times, let me just grab another box here. So here is a box of 2, and this means that I'm going to get a sheet of black and a sheet of the buffalo check. So that's what that means. 2 by 12 by 12. We're going to get 1 black and 1 buffalo check. But in this case, this is a solid. So I'm getting 2 sheets of black. Okay. So let me talk about what comes inside of the box, because you get more than just these sheets. So what comes in the box is some things that one thing that you're going to need called, here it is, butcher paper. This is butcher paper, and it's just a rather thin paper that you're going to use to apply the infusible ink. And you also get this, which is like a little a test piece that you can put something on. And I use these all the time, and it's just a really good way to test out whatever it is that you have. Like if you want to check out your design, just a little piece of your design, it's really fun. So in addition to the transfer sheet, you're going to get butcher paper and then this little test sheet. And also and it does come in size for Joy. This is not a smart material, okay? So for Joy, this does need to go on to a mat. But the cool thing is that if you just want to try infusible ink and you don't want to buy a huge box of it, you could buy the Joy size and use it on your regular machine, because really all it is cut down pieces of those transfer sheets like that, sized for the Joy. You can obviously use it for your Joy as well. And right now these are all on sale. I think they're like running about $3 or $4 a box. So it's really fun to try something new. And if you have an iron, you do need an easy press or some sort of press to use infusible ink. But if you have one and you want to try it out, then you could buy these little less than $5 boxes of infusible ink sheets. You get like 12 inches, 2 12-inch sheets that are 4.5 inches wide. So if you can't commit to a box, then consider the smaller box, okay? So these come packaged in plastic and in these fancy boxes. The reason it comes plastic wrapped inside is because of moisture. Moisture is not a friend to infusible ink. And so you need to keep these in a place where it's not going to get wet or damp in any way. And when you're working with this, make sure your hands are dry as well, because if this surface gets wet, the ink will smudge and cause you to have problems, okay? So infusible ink comes in solids, it comes in patterns, it comes in like boxes that have variety boxes, it comes in the Joy size, it comes in the regular size. Remember, the Joy size, even though it's Joy size, you do need to use a mat for it. It's not a smart material. Okay, so what do we put it on? Well, there's a lot of things that we can put it on, and this is a great place to start. A t-shirt, because everybody likes t-shirts, and today I'm going to show you how to make a t-shirt that I'm making for my son, and it's pretty simple and it's easy to follow, and I'm going to show you where to find the graphics as well. So you'll need a substrate, that's what these are called, and you don't need to have Cricut substrates. However, if you are going to substitute like a non-Cricut shirt, which these are like really inexpensive now, but let's say you want to buy something in bulk and you want to do it for like for a whole group of people, so you buy it in bulk. You can buy these, but you have to be very careful to buy a very high polyester count. This, if you look, I think it does say it's 100%, 95% polyester and a 5% elastane it's called. And this happens to be a unisex t-shirt with a raglan sleeve. There are just plain white ones. There are v-necks. There's baby body suits. There's all kinds of different shirts available. There are also other things that we're going to show you later. There's like a wine bag or a beverage bag. So let's say you like to give, I don't know, UPS driver a bottle of whiskey for the holidays. You can dress up a bag and put infusible ink on it with some fun sayings or holiday greeting, and put it in there so you don't, so it looks like a gift. You don't have to wrap it. There's also coasters, which we've done before and we'll do again. There's two different types of coasters. There's pillow covers, as well as cosmetic bags, but I think those are out of stock right now. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff, and if you want to do the hard stuff, like the like when I mean hard, like the hard surface stuff, it does have to be something that is called sublimation or a sublimation blank. If you can't find it, if it's not available in a Cricut thing, you have to look for something that is going to take sublimation, because Infusible ink is sort of like sublimation, but it's a lot easier. So if you've heard that term sublimation sort of thrown around, what it means is you use a printer, and it's a special printer that you dedicate just for sublimation, and you have ink, special ink, and print it on your printer, and then you can put it on your shirt or whatever. And it's a special ink that needs to be continued to, you have to always fill it up and everything else. So this is keeping you away from all the ink and the mess and everything, right? So that's what this is. So if you are a hardcore, like you make tons and tons of shirts and you want to do like sublimation, this is probably not for you. But if you want to try out sublimation without spending a whole lot of money, this Infusible ink is a great way to try it. And I think that you're going to be satisfied with the results. It really is very impressive results. So let's start off with doing what you do with the transfer tape. Now, I put together, my son is really into photography, so I found this really fun. Don't be negative, and with like an old film canister, which some of you might not even recognize, but that's an old film canister, so I thought that I would do that. And this one here, I also cut out, it says, warning, I might snap at any time. It's backwards, right? Because it's iron on, and essentially it's iron on. So the same principles apply when we're working on iron on, in terms of we have to mirror our image, we have to put the transfer sheet so this side is facing up and it's mirrored. And why is that? Well, when we start to prepare this to be put on, I'm going to show you how it works. But as we start to peel away, because this one we don't need to use any special tools for, we just simply peel away like this, our design. But then once the design starts to appear, you'll see it on the opposite. Now then once we have it peeled away, we're going to press it like this down onto our substrate, okay? So this is how, once we cut it out, we're gonna put it, remember, we're gonna put this shiny side onto the mat. We're going to cut it out mirrored. Then we have to prepare it by removing the excess away from here. So this is what I'm doing. It's paper. You see that? It's paper. So it's just going to peel off like this. And I'll try to work on a flat surface here so you can see what I'm doing. But it's paper and it peels off. And if you have a hard time getting it started, you can just kind of roll it. And this is what you do. You peel it off, and you make sure you peel off all of the pieces you do not want. For smaller bits, such as within these letters, you can also do the same thing. It sort of just bands and comes out. But I will warn you, when you're doing the smaller bits, those pieces that sort of come out, make sure that they don't land on your on whatever you're working on, because there's a possibility that it will get infused into, this little piece will get infused into your t-shirt. But so we just go ahead and we just like removing all of this. And don't worry if it's like ripping a little bit, because that's fine. Now, if sometime when you're doing this, something comes off, that's okay. There's a slight stick here, like here my eye is coming off, so I can just kind of press on it a little bit to keep it going, staying on there. But if it, for instance, is starting to lift, or it does lift off, just place it where it shows that it was cut, and you should be okay. Okay, so this is how you weed it. Now, to apply it, again, you need a high polyester count or something that's used for sublimation, such as those coasters and what have you. We're going to do the t-shirt today, but I'm just going to keep, I should probably just put this aside, but just so you know, this is how you are going to weed this. Now, there are techniques to do double colors, but I'm going to stick with the basics today, because I want for you to understand just the basics, and then we will, I promise, go back and do like what's called the slice method, and that will allow us to do colors. In my first one, I did use a slice method, a very basic slice method, so I'm going to show you that, but it can get more advanced. You could also use the pens with the infusible ink. That's a lot of fun as well. So here we go. That is my image, and look on the other side. Now, obviously, it's not going to show the color that I'm using. And also, look, this is going to be black, but it shows off as kind of a brown. But don't worry, when you add the heat, it will make the color turn brighter, and actually will turn as bright as what's on the box. So if you're wondering what color to use, or you buy something and you realize, and you open it up and you say, maybe I got the wrong thing, because look, this looks like a pale yellow. When you add the heat, it's going to turn this bright, okay? So here we go. So here are our two examples. We're going to do just one of them, and let me move some stuff around here. So I have a heat press, which I'm going to get started to to do this. The heat press is necessary for this application simply, or if you have like an iron, like a non-Cricut heat press that's not an easy press, that would work too. But if you have like a household iron and you want to do this, you might get some okay results. For best results though, you really need an easy press, which I have off to the side here. What do you also need? You also are going to need a piece of cardstock, and this is cardstock that I have put here into this t-shirt. And that is just so that nothing bleeds through, and also provides a better system for the ink to sort of get onto the t-shirt, if that makes sense. Also, in the back here, I have my Cricut Mat. This mat is good because it holds the heat. And remember, this works by activating heat onto the ink, turning it into a gas. You're also going to need something like this, which is like a roller, and this is just simply for and even though this is a brand new shirt, there are things in the air such as like my dog's hair and different like dust particles and whatever, so you're going to want to remove them because it will interfere with what you're doing. And this is also true for like iron-on. I don't know how many of you have done iron-on and found, this happens to me all the time. I find like a dog hair that's stuck in between the iron-on. But in this case, the iron-on is actually a layer, and this becomes not a layer but infused in it. So what it will do is it will just cause the infusion not to happen where that hair is, okay? So you do need to do that. Now we're going to heat up our Easy Press to 385 degrees. If you have the original heat press or the mini, you need to check and see, there's my Easy Press telling me it's ready. But you need to check what's called the heat guide. Now let me show you where to find it. So, okay, when you you have to pull up a browser and you can just type in Cricut Heat Guide. Cricut Heat Guide, or you can bookmark it if you want to save it for later. But here it is. These are the 3 different types of easy presses available. There's the mini, here's the Easy Press 2, and there's the original Easy Press. So when you're starting off, you're just going to choose which one you're going to use, okay? So in this case, I have an Easy Press 2. The mini will work for infusible ink, but it won't work on the hard surface stuff, okay? It will only work on the soft surface stuff. But I have an Easy Press 2, a 9x9, so I start off there. If you're wondering which Easy Press you do have, there is a link that will show you the different Easy Presses, okay? So here we go. Under the heat guide, we have to make 2 choices. And the first one is the material that we're using, okay? So this applies to everything. Holographic, foil, iron-on, anything that Cricut makes, Infusible Ink pens, and the smart iron-on, everything that's there you can choose. But in this case, we're going to choose Infusible Ink transfer sheets. Then we have to choose a base material. So with Infusible Ink, because you do need a special kind of blank, there are a limited number of things. If you, for instance, bought something offline, like say at Amazon or something, you can choose from this list best approximation to what's here. So for instance, like if you bought a pillowcase cover or something on Amazon, you could use the pillowcase cover here, if that makes sense. Again, remember, Infusible Ink, there are limitations to it, whereas iron-on, if we chose, for instance, just regular iron-on, where's everyday iron-on? our base materials, there's a whole lot more of our base materials that you can use. But in this case, Infusible Ink has a very limited thing. We're going to use T-shirt, and then we're going to hit apply. And it's going to tell us all the directions, and then it gives us this sort of illustration on how we're going to sandwich in. So I've already set up a couple of these things so that you can see, but here on the bottom, this is my mat, my easy press mat. There inside of my shirt is my paper and my shirt, and then my design, which is going to be laying the design side down here, right? Like this. The next thing is my butcher paper, and then the next thing is my easy press. Okay, so that is how I'm going to set everything up, but I also need to look at the directions on what my temperature is going to be and for how long that I'm going to do this, okay? And so it says preheat for 15 seconds, and then I have my press warmed up to 385, and I'm going to apply this for 40 seconds using light pressure, and then I'll do a warm peel. So let me just show you the preheat part. We're going to take this off, and we're going to take our easy press and preheating for 15 seconds. You could turn on your little temperature guide, but this is light pressure. Really, I'm not pushing into the it's not strength on, it's iron on, right? So just remember that. Okay, so I did my 15 seconds, and it's quite warm. And then I have my my two color, don't be negative. Maybe we'll do the one color one. Let's do the one color one, which it says, warning, I might snap at any time, like this. And so I am going to place it down. It does stick a little bit, so that's good. And I always just line it up wherever the wherever that tag is, so I know that that's the middle of the neck. So here we go. I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to just have a look at it. It does stick a little bit. And now I need my butcher paper. Where's my butcher paper? This butcher paper can be reused, and they do give you several sheets. Okay. Butcher paper is good because what happens is that sometimes the ink lifts, and it will keep it away from your your substrate. Okay, so here's my butcher paper. Remember, I've got my mat here, I've got my paper inside, I've already used this, and I preheated, and I got my shirt. Try to get all the wrinkles out. I put my design on, and then I put my butcher paper on, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to take my easy press, and I'm going to make sure that it's covering the entire design, okay? I'm going to hit the 30 seconds. I'm going to do it for 40 seconds, but I'm going to make sure, and I'm not going to move it around a whole lot. Look at my top corner. My top corner? I don't see anything, Diane. Oh, maybe you're talking to somebody else. Okay, so I'm not going to move it around, and I am going to give it the complete 40 seconds. I know that there is a tendency to want to see right away what you did, but you have to just for a few seconds, like watching the microwave. You have to just give it that time to do, and be patient. So here's our 40 seconds is done. And it is quite hot. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, here you go. Hi. You can't see the whole design? Okay, so here is my, oh, you can't see the whole design. Okay, here we go. So here is my design. I've taken off the butcher paper. And again, I can reuse it if nothing happens to the butcher paper. So I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to allow it to cool off a little bit because it's very, very hot. And we don't want to burn our hands. But what we're going to do is when we lift it off, there might be some little pieces of the design that's left. Okay? And that's okay. We might just have to pick it off. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to start taking the transfer tape. It's hot, remember, and sort of peeling it off here. And it's starting to come off. And there it is. Okay, so let me talk about this. If you're a big user of iron-on, you might be told, "Oh, you got to wash it from the inside out," or don't put it in the dryer, or wait a day for it to set. You do not need to worry about that for Infusible Ink, because it is really, and let me just get real close so you can see, but it is set inside of that. You see that? It's set. And when I pull it, you can actually see the fibers of the shirt, or the ribbing of the shirt, like this. Right corner missing. I don't know. It might just be in my view, I have the right corner. Maybe it's something that is with the broadcast, and I apologize if that's the case. I don't know. I don't control the broadcast so much. All right. I'm sorry about that. So, okay. So here it is. It is really in there. Good. And can be washed and washed and washed. It is not going to, it's not going to fall off. It's not going to crack or bend, which can happen with iron-on, okay? And I don't know. Somebody's trying to tell me something, but I don't know. Above the warning on the right. She's talking about the black corner piece. I don't know, guys. I'm going to have to go back. Above the warning, oh, this piece. Oh my goodness. Thank you. All right. So in this case, look, these ladies are telling me, thank you, ladies, are telling me that this particular piece was missing here. And I don't know what happened to it. It's got to be around here somewhere. But yeah, so in the event that this happened, see here on my design, thank you, ladies. My design, I actually, when I took it off, this little corner piece did not, it came off with it. And maybe when I was peeling it, I can find in my peelings where it is. I'm sure it is here somewhere. And I would go back if this happens to you, and that takes a really good eye. So, I mean, I didn't even notice it, but if this happens to you, what you want to do, you can locate this little piece. If I could locate it. Wait, I think I found it. Okay. So in this event, we're going to do here, you see, like that. Now, I don't want to cause problems with my other part of my design. So what I'm going to do is sort of cut off a little piece of the ink. I'm going to make sure it's lined up where I want it. Okay, so there. Thank you, ladies. I was really struggling with that. And I am going to repress just that one little part. Okay? And here we go. I hope it doesn't, and this would be a great opportunity for the mini to come back and fix my little mistake. And I hope it doesn't affect, I don't think it will, but I hope it doesn't affect my Infusible Ink that already worked. So, Okay, you guys. Okay, so we have a comment about Infusible Ink Coasters, and we're going to do the coasters. And actually, I found some ornaments that we're going to do ornaments on. Now, you know, the coasters, you could put vinyl on them, but remember now with the vinyl, it's different. It's an actual layer. Let's see if that worked. It's a layer, so you can actually feel it on your, oh man. Oh, see, I should have just put that. I should have just used my mini. Ah, man. All right. Well, folks, this is what happens, and that's okay. But look, see, my thing got a little bit. I should have just put it on here so that I could have that there. And it looks a little fuzzy, so it's not 100% perfect. But you know what? My son is really not going to notice. And there it is. But see, what happened was, even though I didn't use that whole design, it sort of smudged a little bit from the heat. But if we wanted to do the other one on the back, I could do that. So here is the other one. I'm going to put the "Don't Be Negative" on the back so you can see it. Let's get rid of anything here. All right, so here's my "Don't Be Negative" one. And I hope that nothing's missing from this one. And actually this one, I put a little piece of the yellow in there to replicate the tin from the film canister. Okay, and then I cannot use this butcher paper again because look, it sort of ghosted on there. So let's get rid of that and use some new butcher paper. We're going to put that on there. And I should probably heat it up. It's been sort of heated up, but let's heat it up because we want to follow all the directions. All right. And let's put down our design and the butcher paper and come back. It's heated up to 385. Let's let it go 30 seconds and then we'll do the 40 because I didn't set the machine to 40 seconds. I just left it on 30. But you can actually set the different temperatures using these buttons right here, which we've talked about in the past. So, or you can just let it go for the 30 seconds or keep track without using the timer. That's up to you. It's not like it makes it work or anything. It's just a timer for your use. So it did 30 seconds, so I'm going to do another 10 seconds for this. And so 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. All right. So there's my butcher paper, and I could probably use that again and put it aside. Allow it to cool a little bit because this is very hot, and you're going to just start from a corner and let it cool a little bit. And I know that this thing makes it hotter, and so if I wanted to cool, if I couldn't be patient, then I have to, I have to take it off of that mat. But this is demonstration, so it's pretty cool. And we just start peeling like this. So there's the 2-color design that says "Don't Be Negative" on the bottom. I'm sorry, on the shirt. And again, let's hold it up real close. So see, there's a 2-color, and it is in there. There's nothing to come off like if you did iron on. So it is really in there really, really well, really good. Okay. So that's the basics of Infusible Ink. Are there other things that you can do, such as the pens or the pins and the transfer sheets or the coloring and all of that, yes, absolutely. There's a lot that you can do. You can actually do infusible ink with regular iron-on as well. So there are all kinds of little tricks and everything. But the most important part is just to try it, right? And there are a lot of people that just aren't, they're just either they haven't got around to it or they're a little afraid, but they're doing all kinds of iron-on stuff. Now, this does not replace iron-on because iron-on is pretty amazing. And again, we'll do some more iron-on stuff, but it's just to kind of show you that this is not as hard as you might be led to believe, and you're going to have a lot of fun using it, and it's permanent. My son's going to probably grow out of this shirt before he ruins it, or he'll rip it or something before this will wear off, which is hard to say for some iron-on projects. Okay, so that's it, folks. That is our infusible ink. It's a mystery material. Oh yes, thanks, Diane. So these designs did come from Design Space, and they are part of a new design grouping. They're always adding these wonderful designs. So let me show you. We'll do new project. I'm on my iPad, so I'm going to do image, and I'm going to go to image sets, and it's called, the image grouping is called Punny T-shirts right here. Punny T-shirts, and there are lots of punny T-shirt. It took me a while to get this one with the koala bear, but my puns are koala tea. My son loves puns, so this is where I found this don't mean negative, and there's the I shoot people and cut off their heads. But if you're also looking for image sets, there is one called Me Sarcastic Never, which I absolutely think is hilarious, but there's two under here for sarcastic, the word sarcastic, and there's a bunch. There's one that says it's way too peoply outside. That's something my son would really like, but he's got a real sarcastic view, and there's a lot to choose from here. There's 81 and then 61 on those two image sets alone. So you will not be at a loss finding these. You could also just type in T-shirt and it will come up. Whoops. As long as you type T-shirt correctly, it will come up shirt. Oh, I know. I have to put a here, T-shirt. Okay. So there's tons and tons and tons of T-shirt designs, and note that with the little green A, that means that you can do any of these as long as you're a Cricut Access customer or subscriber, and there are literally hundreds of these designs that you can work from. So there's a ton of possibilities, yes, and some of them are single color, some of them are double color or more, and we can talk about layering and doing that in the future, but I just wanted everybody to see how easy Infusible Ink is, and then we'll also do the hard surfaces and also the pens in a future episode, okay? So thank you everybody for coming today. This is my channel, Miss Rita to the rescue, but it's called Cricut Chat, and if you came in late or you missed, know that all of the videos are stored at my YouTube channel, which is listed under Miss Rita to the rescue, and there are hundreds of them there, and they have lots and lots of tutorials for you to follow, all done live on Cricut. All right. Yes, my son is a thank you, Gloria. So thank you everyone for coming today. I'll be back tomorrow with I think I'm going to do a Cricut craft with party foil for tomorrow. So a lot of us receive party foil in mystery boxes. And so I think we're going to do a party foil banner that I really like to do. Can we do sticker paper? Yes, we can do sticker paper. And let's see, sticker paper. as a Mystery Monday. Let's do that for next Monday. Sticker paper. All right, everyone. Thanks so much, and you have a wonderful day. We'll see you again tomorrow. And don't be negative, okay? It's going to get better. All right, everyone. Love you. Take care.